Hello and welcome back. One of my oldest friends recently had her second daughter, and I wanted to make a little gift for both of her little girls using these adorable vintage frames I found on Etsy. The two girls are named Juniper and Willow, which is so cute, so I wanted to do this kind of vintage botanical print style of a juniper branch and a willow tree branch. I will be using Fabriano paper block and some Daniel Smith watercolors. I've always loved this style of vintage botanical print, so that's definitely my inspiration, but my personal painting style is definitely more loose. So my watercolors will not be quite like that, but it is my guide along this process. You can see I did a lot of practice beforehand. I wasn't sure if I wanted to paint a whole tree at first or just close-ups of the leaves and branches. Ultimately, I decided that if you couldn't see the berries on the juniper tree, then it would risk just looking like any other evergreen or conifer, so I decided that these would be close-ups of the branches. And the willow tree will look like a willow, I think, either far or close. I think this is a really great gift for anyone to make. I love giving people handmade gifts, and you don't need a lot of painting experience to do this. Just make that really light sketch. You can even trace it. And from there, you're basically just coloring in the lines. Even if you just found some really cool vintage frames and some really nice prints, I think even gathering those materials together is really thoughtful. I'm just putting a really light layer down first using a small round brush. Then while the berries are still wet, I'm dropping in a slightly darker blue and letting it sort of bleed around the shape, since berries on a juniper tree often have a lot of different variations of blue. Now for the stems. This color is way too red at first, but as I continue to layer over it, I can mellow some of that redness out. Going back over the pines with a darker green, mostly towards the base by the branch, and leaving the top parts a bit lighter. Now I'm going back over the branch with a darker blue to sort of cancel out and mellow down some of that orange. I'm also using that darker blue on the very base of the pine needles, right towards the branch area. And then I will use that to add some darker spots to the berries now that they've fully dried. And that's about it for the first painting. I really like how this turned out. I think it's super cute and sweet. Perfect for a little girl's bedroom, maybe. I am going to get started on the second one. For the second painting of the willow branch, I'm leaving a bit more to my own imagination rather than drawing each leaf out ahead of time. I'm just going to start with this very light green. However, the brush I chose was a bit too large for this leaf shape that I wanted, so I ended up just finishing that out for a very light background color, and then I swapped to this smaller brush, also pointed round, and I'm just going over top of those with a slightly darker green. I'm just sort of randomly placing these, making it look like a cascading movement. Then I'm going back in and adding the tiniest little stems to the leaves. This one I played around a bit more. I did do a little bit of practicing, but it was a bit more clear to me from the start what I wanted to paint. I'm just defining the areas around the stems a bit more, giving some variation to the leaves. Sometimes a really simple painting like this looks more interesting because we take the time to do these really small details like slight color variations. And that's all. It was really fun and quick. Watercolor is not my primary painting medium, but I do really enjoy using it, and I mean to get a bit better at it. I hope you like them, and I hope you also feel inspired to do something similar, but let's go ahead and see what these look like in their frames. These frames did come with the hanging pieces on the back, which was great, but I do like to have framing kits on hand because I love thrifting frames and they don't always come with all the pieces. Anyway, I think these turned out really well. I think it's a super cute gift. As I said, I love to gift people handmade things, either made by me or made by someone else whenever I can. I hope you like them too. I already gave them to my friend and she loved receiving them. If you want to see more painting, sewing, building, and crafting videos from me, feel free to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!